Hello everyone, my name is Vincent. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we have with us Mr. Craig. He's one of the HR specialists. We have a lot of questions to ask, so straight away get into this show. Let us welcome Mr. Craig. Hi Craig, welcome.
Thank you.
Can you please tell us something about you?
Yes. Hello everyone. Before I go into a short introduction about myself, I just hope all of you are doing well and safe. My name is Craig Jude De Silva, and I have about 10 years of experience in human resources, spanning across recruitment, training and development. I did my UG in Loyola, I completed my BBA in Loyola, and then I went on and did an MBA from Pondicherry University through Loyola. I've been born and brought up in Chennai, so always a Chennai boy. Been right through from there, yeah, that's a short thing about myself.
Yeah, so I know that you are from the HR L&D background. L&D in the sense, just want to tell the audience that it is learning and development. So in HR there are a lot of streams are there. So I just want to understand, can you please tell us what are all the streams are there in HR?
Okay, so initially how they started off it was personnel management, and then it transformed. So if you see, HR has taken a lot of transformation in my view since the last few years at least. So there are a lot of specialists, more and more specialists are becoming the need of the hour. For example, if you take the case of the Wright brothers, how they built the aircraft in the 1900s. I read this article somewhere. So there were two men who just had a mechanical and aeronautical background, and they started off and built the aircraft. But nowadays, if you think of building an aircraft, to design the engines itself, it takes so many people. And then you think about the people who are working in the plant floor. So it's unlikely that you actually, if you complete the generalist course, you'll actually build an aircraft and get it going. So it was a very interesting article, and I found it very useful.
Yeah.
Nowadays, there are more and more work, and our mind can only store a limited amount of, it can't store more than something, it cannot have some more than that information. So specialists are becoming more and more in the field because there's more and more opportunities available, more and more work coming in.
Yeah.
So in HR, likewise, they've branched it out. So it's a humongous task with so many different functions. So I'll list down a few functions which I've
please.
seen in my experience. So I'll go starting off with the recruitment.
Yeah.
So you have the onboard, the sourcing team, the calling up team, the on or offer rollout team, and all that stuff. You have them in recruitment itself. You have those small divisions.
Correct.
And then also you have onboarding specialists. So they enhance the employee experience. So when a person joins an organization from anywhere, it's like a mother giving birth to a new child. When that child enters the world, what kind of feeling it will be? How will that mother take care of that child? The same experience here. When an employee joins an organization, so he's trusting whole his skills, and he's joining that whole organization. And it's the duty of the organization to take care of these people. And we as HR folks, that's very important. So to improve that onboarding experience, so to get the employee productive right from the start, that's the onboarding team's task. So you have the onboarding team.
Yeah.
Then you have the employee relations team. So people who answer queries and all that stuff. So your employee has queries related to payroll, this, that. So all that stuff, we have the employee relations and stuff. Then we also have business partners who work along with the business. So they will study the business in and out. They'll know in and out of the business. When to ramp up people, when to ramp down, when the employee is actually doing the performance is not going really well, when to have training for them. That's the business partner. So they work as a mediator between other HR functions and the business. So they are the point of contact. Then you also have the immigration team, which is doing a fabulous job, because they people going on site now because of the COVID. You see a lot of things stop. But immigration does a wonderful task where they take people on board, send them on site, ensure that whole process gets thing on flow. Then you also have the learning and development team. So the L&D, that's a big space. I would say big space because I'm from that same, but I don't tend to discriminate. But yes, L&D is it's a brilliant space. I feel it very, very. I take it. I'm very proud to say that I'm a part of that team. So then you also have the OD team, the organization development. So if training is for people. Training is for the junior resources and the senior resources. OD is for the little more senior people. So they do a lot of strategic work. They try and study the culture of the organization, bring in new things, take out this from the organization. There you have that. You also have the transformation team. Now recently HR has gone through a lot of transformation, as I was saying before. Now there's a lot of systems coming into HR folks. They're trying to bring in all that. So people driving those changes. That's another important team which is going around doing very well. That's in my experience what I've seen so far.
Yeah, so that's fine. So I have another questions to ask. I think, do you have any, candidates should come from, is there any kind of a background, like, my question is like the education part. they should become, no, they should study MBA or MSW, or any graduates, no, can come to the HR field. Can you please tell us something on that?
Okay. See, again, with my limited knowledge, I'm telling you what I've seen in the past and what I've been seeing right through.
Yeah.
So yes, in India, it's important that you have to do a UG in a management field, in an arts field. It's important that you do an MBA, at least your MBA, because that's like a generalist profile. So that gives you an overall perspective of this one.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you've done your BCom or a BA or a BBA or a BA Arts, BA History, whatever.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. But make sure you have an MBA to top it up. It's quite important, because when you do that MBA, organizations refer that mostly.
Okay.
But if you ask me, honestly, if you say that's really, really important, I would say it's not so very important how it's categorized and all that. But yes, it is important. Why? Because nowadays there's the people, HR people, understanding the business is very, very less.
Okay.
Now, when you're going to work in an organization, unless you actually understand how the organization functions, how they are making money, will you actually give the best towards the organization. And you have to understand the vision of the organization, what the organization is trying to do, what is the vision of the organization.
Okay.
So if you have that same line, you'll be able to take your employees in that line.
Understood.
So if you don't understand the vision, if you don't understand how the company works, you'll be just doing a postman's work.
Okay.
So I think it's very important for us to strategize and do strategic work. That's important. So it doesn't matter what kind of degree you are, but I would say if you're studying as you're doing a UG in BCom or BBA, but make sure you top it up with an MBA. And if in India, I've personally faced this with my career, because I don't want to mention the company name, but I did not get a promotion, I did not get an elevation, because I didn't do my MBA on a regular college.
Okay.
So I would suggest that in India this happens. The mindset of people still it's changing. It still needs to get there a little bit. So I request everybody to please, however hard it is, try and top up your UG with an MBA. It's very, very important for you.
Will you be expecting any certifications from the candidate, while they are studying? Is there anything like that? Can you please tell us?
It totally depends, Vincent. It depends on what stream you're joining in.
Okay.
But for a fresher, I don't think they should be looking at certifications, because it's the duty of the company to train those people in those certifications.
Okay.
And however, if you can come prepared with that, nothing like it, because nowadays the competition is so much. If you have those additional skills where you can prove that or add value straight away from the time you join, that's brilliant. So what something I would ask every individual in HR, which is very, very required, understand how MS Excel functions.
Okay.
Understand that. Try and do an advanced course in MS Excel.
Yeah.
Though they say we are very, very, very system-based advanced, we have advanced systems and all that, but a lot of stuff still goes on Excel.
Okay.
And if you can do a macros course, nothing like studying it, because it's very important. Because in HR, irrespective of whatever streams, you'll be dealing with large amount of data depending on your organization size.
Correct.
And it's important. Sometimes it's very important where you have to give data to management, where you have to give data to external stakeholders, where you have to face audits.
Exactly.
In that way, when you sit down and start crunching your data, if you don't know formulas, if you don't know basics, for you to understand, and it's a lot of unnecessary stress which you're taking on. However, if you study and prepare that in the background, so I would say MS Excel, MS VBA and macro, if you can just master those courses, or maybe even if you know the basics, start functioning basics, some formulas if you understand it. When you come on board, when you're taking up the task which they're giving you, it'll take time. You'll settle down, and no matter in any time you'll settle down. So I think that's very important. And if you're coming in as a L&D professional, come in with an open mind, because you have to learn a lot. Go from scratch. I mean, if personally, if I'm recruiting, if anybody, I wouldn't ask anybody for come prepared with this certificate, come prepared with that certificate. I would personally want to groom that person.
Right.
So that's my view of looking at it. But it'll be better if you come prepared. But there's a lot of tools available, my friends. Go through, check out a lot of stuff. Come prepared. Understand Excel and VBA is one thing key for HR professional, I would say.
Correct. So exactly, you pointed out that basic things need to be expected from the point of view of HR. So that is the one thing is MS Excel. Correct. So that is a need of the heart.
True.
So my another question is, can you please tell us what will be the salary range in general? I'm just asking. So what the candidate may expect when they are coming as a fresher in the field of HR or in the field of L&D. Can you please tell me?
So it's a very, very subjective topic if you ask me, because
Okay.
The salary is it's so different.
Okay.
If you get in, it depends again on the organization. Some organizations are brilliant. Soon as you enter, they'll have a fixed income. They'll have a fixed band for you. So it depends on whatever UG or PG which you've done, and then they depending on the market standard, they'll do a research and they'll keep progressing you up as you go.
Okay.
But ideally, if you see with the current trend and all that, I think somewhere around 3 to 4 lakhs is something ODL for an MBA person in a very like a decent organization. For a very advanced organization, like if you, so some people come from IIM and all that stuff, they get 12 lakhs and 15 lakhs, and their packages are quite high.
Okay.
But people from like I'm not saying people, I wouldn't say, but generally people like us, we have to we slog and come up right from the start. It's not straight away that they don't give you that salary. It's a lot of stuff which you have to understand beforehand. Ideally, I would say for a fresher, MBA fresher, between 3 to 5 is something which is okay. So
You're talking about the CTC.
that's
3
correct.
to 5 lakhs.
3 to 5
right?
lakhs, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. So can you please conclude what are all the points we have discussed? Do you want to say anything to the viewers?
Okay, so this salary bit, which I would like to just add on. Don't ever think whatever be the salary, my friends. If you're getting into HR, if you did your UG and PG and you're so passionate about getting into HR, don't worry about the salary. Just get into it. You just need that first step, and once you get that first step, you can just keep growing. I mean, I'll show you there are positions available which I've seen, and I'm a part of a few groups which are there, which keep circulating these information and a lot of reports which are there. If you want, I can share it with you. You can share it with our viewers.
Sure.
So a lot of reports going on. I've seen job postings for vice presidents and presidents and general managers and stuff. Guess what's their salary, Vincent?
Maybe around 30 lakhs.
30 lakhs, yes. I'm okay with that, this one. But nowadays, my friend, is going to 1.5 crores, 1 crore. And there's a criteria which says, I've noticed that, and I've taken a screenshot also. There's a criteria which says for some people should have earned at least 96 lakhs in the previous organization for him to get that kind of skill. So the potential, and it's not, I'm not saying it's like too much of money and all that stuff, but the kind of work is going to be grueling. Obviously, they don't straight away come and give you that work and then say, oh yeah, this money, enjoy it stuff. The work is grueling. You have to earn it. So it depends on how you start. So first get that first start. That'll be your kickstart. And from there, see, don't just, as soon as you get in, say for example, if you're getting as a recruiter, don't limit your mind and don't limit your knowledge only to recruitment. Try and explore what are the other functions. You would have studied it. I'm very sure you have studied it. All that is very important, and you'll try and apply what you've studied here. See if it actually works here. Try, when you're working with recruiters, I'm sure you'll be interacting with the onboarding team. I'm sure you'll be interacting with the business partner team to tell them, okay, these people have joined, these people are going to be joining. So interact, build those relationships with them. When you're free, go and talk to them. Ask them, what is that you'll do in onboarding? What is that you'll do in employee relations? What is that business partners do? Go and understand, and then try every 2 years inside that organization, try and move to the other role. Build your connections, network. Networking is a primary key and very, very important for us as HR people. I think that's very, very important and a crucial thing. Try and build your network. And you don't straight away go and say, hi, my name is this one and I want to network with you. I want to build that connection with you. No, it starts off in stages. First get there in that first position, and from there you can actually transcend. Above all, keep God in your, keep praying, because God's very important, and I think prayer is very important for all of us.
So nice interaction with you, Mr. Craig. So I hope the viewers, might have got some insight from this interaction. So thank you so much once again. Thanks for your time.
Take care, no problem.
Maybe we'll meet once again for different topics.
Definitely, no problem.
Yeah, thank you so much.
No worries. Take care. I just want to say one more thing. Just don't keep too much on your head when you finish your college. I know it can be a little tough for all of you, because now the current COVID pandemic, which has taken a turn for all the students, and everybody is so unprecedented. Don't worry, we are all in this together. None of us have faced this situation in the past. We also are into this together. I think this whole year has taught us a lot about how to be more technology advanced. So I would say that don't worry, don't get into depression. It's important that you speak out. Don't always feel that you're alone. You always have people. Reach out to people. And if there's anything which I can do for you personally, Vincent, just let me know. I'm always willing to help.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.